find out, because we didn't want to say that only that on the basis of a newspaper item. So a very responsible newspaper had published it. Still, I asked the Secretary General to find out whether such a book
veracity of this.
In communication, he is
Defending and justifying. My lord,
Fine.
my lord, there is no justification, my lord. We tender an apology. This would
That's
be
not the deep-rooted conspiracy.
my lord,
Absolutely, 100%.
possible
To damage the institution.
Also, my lord, informing your lordships that the two individuals who prepared this, my lord, chapter, my lord, will never be associated with any activity of this ministry, or my lord, I'll try and see any other ministry. My lord, there appears to be, my lord,
That will be very light action. The way if they are allowed to go scot-free like this, then it's a very, very light
my
action.
lord, whatever your lordship,
Something, you see, they have fired the gunshot, the judiciary is bleeding today.
absolutely.
Yesterday, the kind of message I am receiving from the
Lord, all of
The
us
moral
are
of the
holding
judiciary.
our hand in shame.
Today, you simply somebody will say, I tender unconditional because it's an illegal.
No, and yesterday, Lord, I saw a podcast. Some former director of NCERT is justifying this openly, and his video is circulating everywhere, justifying.
My lord,
This is the kind of-
this would be, my lord, republished. I will, my lord, vet it, and my lord, whatever, my lord, your lordship desires shall be done, my lord, for those two individuals.
This communication, I read it minutely because still while sitting here, we don't carry kind of any. It is not that we will be emotionally swayed or anything. We have to perform our duty. Sometimes we perform in very hard times also. And when there is a mounting attack on us, we know even how to maintain objectivity during that time also. Now they say publication will be withdrawn. It is in public domain. It is available in different social media sites. It is available. People go and buy it in market. Yesterday, the senior counsel was showing to me. I also got a copy from somewhere from this.
There are 32 books which left, which went in the market, which are being withdrawn. The rest of the books we are not circulating. The entire chapter would be revisited by a new team. My lord, not only, my lord, the offending part which your lordship found offending, there is another part where, my lord, there is a pendency figures given, where the title is justice delayed is justice denied. We can't teach our class 8 students that justice is being denied in the country.
So, Solicitor General, it is not the class student. It's a very, very calculated move. How the class student will teach?
Lord, I am not defending even that.
First, you will the entire teaching community will be told. Only then they will teach the students, 8th class. So when you teach, the entire teaching community is first told that Indian judiciary is corrupt. There is a lot of pendency in Indian judiciary.
And therefore justice is denied.
So first teachers will, because a teacher has to do his own homework before teaching. So first entire teaching community has been told. Then what happens in school? What is the reality? Reality is that parents are also, because the parents will study. So not a single part of the society has been left. It is such a deep-rooted, well-planned, orchestrated.
Holistic approach. Only one sector is selected. Well, nothing about anything in the over endemic system.
Yes, my lord.
One person is selected.
My lord, the judiciary, the bar, the business community,
bureaucracy,
the extortion.
What about the politicians, the bureaucracy, the ministers? What about them?
Lordship, they have already done what they want to do.
And Malad, this is in PDF form. Malad,
Lord, I am not defending
but
it.
this is in
I am not
PDF
the
form
government
circulated
has-
throughout.
No,
What do
there
you
is
do
no
about the
point in
PDF
not
form?
storing points. I have, Lord, the government has taken.
National matter.
Mr. Solicitor General,
Leave it.
some of these articles, or at least excerpts of the book, are in the digital domain.
Yes, PDF.
Can you take steps on behalf of the government to issue to these platforms takedown orders?
Yes.
We shall do that. I'll
Takedown
to the
orders in
secretary.
respect of the excerpts which appear to be extremely lopsided without emphasizing on the performance of judiciary as the protector of the constitution.
Yes.
That has not been done. Judiciary is the protector of constitution,
Look, I
the legal aid and the access to justice, judiciary, justice and exercise.
I'm grateful, my lord.
Not been highlighted at all.
I undertake, I'll speak to the Secretary Mines. Lord, we have statutory powers to pass takedown orders.
What if
Meeting has the statutory
the state
backing.
will take
Yes.
that responsibility?
Yes, I hope so, Malad. I hope so.
Directions to upon the
Yes.
to take down.
Take down. That's very
Takedown
important.
orders can be passed. There are statutory provisions.
Yes,
and
yes.
Statutory provisions will be exercised.
Actually, the circulation there is much more than the hard copy.
Of course, always, always, always,
Connection with that.
always.
30
Everybody has it, but people are sending it around now.
Close with the
Lordship, in this case, the people have to be identified.
There should be some
We are not accepting
some
and
accountability.
close, but we are not rejecting, but we would like to have a deeper probe. Our first, as head of the judiciary, it's my duty to find out who is the person responsible. If there are more than one heads, accountability must be there. I am not going to close this proceeding till I am satisfied as an institutional.
We will fully
then the
assist
board
your
can-
lordship without.
Members of the board confirm it. There are X number of members of the board who have confirmed this. It goes to the board.
Who are the person behind it? We would like to know it.
Your lordship will place everything on record, my lord. We are not taking adversarial stand, but we stand by the institution, and my lord, whoever is responsible must pay for what they have done to your lordship's satisfaction.
Whatever the level of betting, he should not be allowed to go scot-free. They should not be allowed to get away with this.
Leave it.
Whatever the level of betting.
It is the well calculated move, Lordship.
The premise of our constitution, but profoundly conscious and constitutional functional responsibilities were inscribed with such precision that the three pillars, namely legislature, executive and judiciary, remain capable of operating with their respective autonomy while functioning in concert to preserve the democratic fabric of our nation. While acknowledging constitutionally described demarcation, we were nearly shocked when one of the leading newspaper published an article regarding release of a social science textbook for grade 8 in bracket part 2 titled inverted commas exploring society, India and beyond, first edition published in February 2026 by the National Council of Education, Research and Training, that is NCERT. Chapter 4 of the publication is titled the role of the judiciary in our society. It incorporates a subtopic explicitly expounding corruption in the judiciary. The inclusion of the subject matter within a foundational curriculum in our considered opinion, warrants a rigorous review of its pedagogical suitability and its potential impact on the institutional standing of the judiciary as a whole. We are reluctant to reproduce the contents of the chapter, but it very prominently refers to the hundreds of complaints received against judiciary, clearly indicating as if no action was taken. Picking a few words from the statement of the former Chief of India, who suggest completely out of context. Only to suggest that idea is that CGI himself has acknowledged there is a conflict. This is what they want to do.
Saying something in further.
Suggesting that the judiciary itself has acknowledged the lack of transparency, accountability, or institutional corruption. Not only this, the article further goes on to declare that, inverted commas, people do experience corruption at various levels of the judiciary. That's just inverted commas clause. In the wake of the publication of the book and a self-critiquing article in Indian Express, that's the world newspaper, on 24th February 2026, the Secretary General of this court was asked to verify whether such a publication has been released by NCERT. Instead of revisiting, instead of having an introspection of what had been written in the book in a most reckless, irresponsible, contemptuous, and motivated manner, the director responded in writing, defending the contents of the book. Next paragraph. On a prima facie examination of the book's contents, when read in conjunction with the administrative response received from the director, it seems to us that there is a calculated move to undermine the institutional authority and demean the dignity of the judiciary. This book, if allowed to go unchecked, will erode the sanctity of the judicial office in the estimation of the public at large, and more importantly, within the impressionable minds of the youth. While the publication, next program, ostensibly dedicates an entire chapter to the role of judiciary to our society, and washes off with one stroke of pen the illustrious history associated with the Supreme Court, the High Courts and District Courts, is conspicuously omitted and without any mentioning of substantive contributions made by these institutions towards the preservation of democratic fabric. The text unfortunately fails to acknowledge the imperative role of the judiciary, which it undertakes to, in upholding the constitutional morality and the basic structure doctrine, which are the lifeblood of the Indian citizenry's public existence. It seems to us that the narrative contained in the book chooses not to delve into any of the transformative initiatives and measures pioneered by this court towards overhauling even the legal aid mechanism and streamlining the ease of access to justice.
And other things, separate things, and other things.
Absolutely. This silence is particularly egregious given the sheer volume of high-ranking officials who have been censured by this very court in the past for corrupt practices, fraudulent activities, and for illicit siphoning of public funds, etc. It seems to us that the choice of words expressions in the book might be may not be a simplicity or inadvertent or bona fide error. At this juncture, one more paragraph. We may, however, hasten to add that we do not propose to issue these suo motu proceedings, initiate these suo motu proceedings to stifle any legitimate critic or to bring to task any individual or organization exercising the right to scrutinize public institutions, including the judiciary. Contrarily, we are of the firm conviction that dissent, deliberation, and rigorous discourse constitute the very vitality of a living democracy and serve as essential instruments of institutional accountability. Next paragraph. The necessity for judicial intervention, nevertheless, has arisen not from a desire to suppress criticism, but from the imperative to safeguard the pedagogical integrity of the national curriculum. Young students in their formative years are only beginning to navigate the nuances of public life and the constitutional architecture that sustains it. fundamentally improper to expose them to a biased narrative that may engender permanent misconceptions at an age, at this tender age. For the purpose of appreciating the manifold and onerous responsibilities that are discharged by judiciary on a day-to-day basis.